that a special R tuba? Special R? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, special R. Nice. Oh, 93. Actually, no, I'm good. I carry him.
Alright, so we'll just talk about Nosotros, how it got started.
Yeah, man.
And anything you want to share about it.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, cool. All right. Nosotros. Originally, I wanted to diversify a little bit in my, you know, within my portfolio and not really have, you know, all my cigars coming out of one factory. And originally, Cruzado was supposed to be made in Nicaragua. So I went there, created a blend with Mario over there, and it was going good. It was, you know, ready to go. We were going to work on packaging next, and you know, then obviously Drew Estate came along, and they got the distribution rights to Nicaragua. So Steve Saka and you know, Jonathan had a meeting. He said, well, you know, now's not the best time to, you know, bring in a private label. They needed to get their sea legs, and, you know, see, you know, they need to take care of their best interest first, their business interest, which, you know, completely fine with me. So Jonathan, it's actually the first year I met him, you know, he came up to me, he was real cordial, real nice, you know, super friendly guy out of the gate. You know, he apologized profusely. He said, you know, it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when, you know, we get you back out there. So I said, you know, cool, I realized it was nothing personal. So on a trip, you know, he invited me out to Nicaragua after a friend died. He went to a funeral in Florida. And anyway, so we went out there, and you know, showed me his facility, which is just friggin' fantastic. You've been at Drew Estate? Anyways, so, you know, I go out there, and he's like, well, we have an appointment in Nicaragua. We'll go back there and, you know, maybe, you know, get that blend, see what we can do. And I said, well, you know what? Because I looked around at his facility. I said, man, you know, you pretty much have everything anybody would ever need. So I said, you know, show me where your head is at with tobacco. Show me the tobaccos, you know, that you buy that you think are good tobacco. So he brought me in, him and Nicholas, his leaf man, brought in a whole list of all, you know, different components. And so I just sat down, you know, I started looking at them, and some material I was very, very familiar with, you know, Aganorsa, the tobacco I use in Illusione. And there were a lot of components that I wasn't experienced with, you know, like the ASP, and there was some Brazilian stuff, and, you know, he had all these other great tobaccos. So we just started smoking them and going through, and I was taking notes, you know, writing down what I thought, you know, going through like all the cover leaf, all the binder options, all the tripa, and so I said, you know, it was good in that it kind of forced me out of my comfort zone. Because, you know, Aganorsa grows, you know, to me, the best tobacco in the world. And, but the Oliva ASP tobacco, this particular Viso we were looking at, was just stunning in the flavor. And he also had this binder that was very, very unique. It's a Jarmock binder, true Habano, Connecticut. So I assembled it, you know, put it together, and it was, you know, it was fantastic, and it was, you know, very, very unique into, you know, with regards to what comes out of his factory. Nothing likes to come out of there, and again, it was a flavor that I was always striving to get a taste profile, and just didn't have the components that I knew were out there that I knew I can get, but just weren't at my disposal. And that was the good thing about going to Jonathan, is he had such a variety of it that we really got to experiment with all different, you know, types of tobaccos. So the blend that I put together was the Nosotros, and that's pretty much it. It's full-bodied, rich. It's got an upfront spiciness, but it's, you know, it's not spicy strong. It doesn't overload the palate, and it's got that real sneaky strength, you know. So kind of like when you get down to about here, it's too late. You know, you're done. Oh, that's, you know, one of those cigars. It's just not like all upfront strength, all upfront flavor. You know, it just kind of gradually gets you into it, and then it, you know, it just kind of hits you with a velvet hammer. So.
I know you had a limited supply shipped here.
Yeah.
When can people expect to see it on shelves?
October. I think countdown is after October 1st. Our biggest concern was getting wrapper ready material, cover leaf that was ready. We had a limited supply of it, but we didn't have nearly enough for my first initial purchase order. So we had to go out to Aganorsa and say, because it's Corojo wrapper, and we say we need something that's as close to being wrapper ready as possible. So they gave us some wrapper that we approved, and it's right as it stands. It maybe needs about another, I'd say, week at a minimum, maybe 3 weeks at the maximum before it's smokable. It's ready to use, and the burn is where it needs to be.
Your favorite size that you enjoy?
I like I like the Robusto, and I like the Corona Larga. It's a 6x46. Those are my two favorites.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.
Perfect, man.
Thanks,
Hope I
Dion.
didn't talk too much. I talk fast, so editing's going to be a nightmare.